and highlighted, it's also St. Patrick's Day, so a little bit of celebrations for sure, and a little bit of learning and listening to Mr. President Trump. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, whose work ethic is inspiring. And all that does to me is highlight the lack of work on my side. So that's it. That's what I'm here for.
When did Conor McGregor become a self-appointed spokesperson for Irish political issues? At Trump's White House meeting, the MMA fighter shocked attendees by directly confronting UK Prime Minister Kier Starmer over immigration policies, despite having no official political position or mandate. The question isn't just whether McGregor stepped out of bounds, but why his message resonated with so many. With claims of employing over 200 people in Ireland and accusations that the government operates with zero accountability, McGregor's outburst reveals the growing disconnect between political establishments and citizens feeling voiceless in immigration debates. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. What happens when a fighter decides he's not just speaking for himself, but for an entire nation? That's the question at the heart of Conor McGregor's startling transformation.
Irish UFC fighter Conor McGregor has visited the White House, where he met with Donald Trump, and he was there for St. Patrick's Day, and he insisted that his country is at the cusp of losing its Irishness.
The government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland?
Especially places like Ireland that's grappling with a surge in immigration, which has led to a housing crisis and increased social tensions.
From UFC champion to self-appointed Irish spokesman on the world stage, his appearance at the White House wasn't just another celebrity photo opportunity. It marked a calculated leap into political waters that has left many scratching their heads. McGregor has built his brand on being outspoken, but his sudden pivot to international diplomacy has raised eyebrows across Ireland. Despite having no electoral mandate or political office, he's positioned himself as the authentic voice of Irish citizens. His justification: a business empire that he claims employs over 200 people, almost 300 people in the country of Ireland. This economic footprint, in McGregor's mind, grants him the authority to speak on behalf of millions. The Irish government wasted no time in shutting down this notion. Taoiseach Michel Martin bluntly stated that McGregor's remarks are wrong and failed to represent the Irish people's views. Taoiseach Simon Harris went even further, making it crystal clear that McGregor doesn't speak for Ireland. He doesn't speak for the people of Ireland. He has no mandate to do such. The speed and firmness of these rebuttals.
Our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland? I'm here to raise the issues that people of Ireland face, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. Our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country.
Show just how seriously Irish officials took McGregor's unauthorized ambassadorship. What makes McGregor's political transformation particularly fascinating is how he positions himself against what he perceives as a failing establishment. He's constructed a narrative where he represents the real Ireland, one that mainstream politicians have supposedly abandoned. His rhetoric portrays a government plagued by zero action with zero accountability, while presenting himself as the straight-talking alternative who understands ordinary citizens' concerns. Central to McGregor's political messaging is his claim about Dublin's dramatic decline. Once one of the most safest cities in Europe, it has, according to McGregor, deteriorated into one of the most dangerous in just a decade. he leans on these assertions to build an emotional case about the country's direction, despite questions about the accuracy of such sweeping characterizations.
We consider America our big sibling, so it's important for Ireland to have be a peaceful, happy, prosperous country for the 40 million Irish Americans to have a place to visit.
We couldn't think of a better guest to have with us on St. Patrick's Day. We're both wearing our green. This was not planned, but very festive. And as you know, I'll be having a briefing later at 1 o'clock, so we'll talk more about their meeting later.
So we wish for our relationship with the United States to continue, and we wish to be taken care of by the big bro. You know, the United States should look after its little bro, and that's how we feel.
McGregor's alliance with Trump is hardly accidental. By attaching himself to a politician who has mastered the art of populist messaging, McGregor gains access to a ready-made platform and audience receptive to anti-establishment rhetoric. The strategic value of appearing alongside a former president can't be overstated. It instantly elevates McGregor's political commentary from social media rants to international news. There's a revealing context to McGregor's newfound political voice that can't be ignored. His reputation has taken significant hits in recent years, most notably being found civilly liable in a rape case. This pivot toward political commentary offers a potential pathway to reputation rehabilitation, shifting public focus from personal scandals to broader social issues, where he can position himself as a concerned citizen rather than a controversial figure. Why did Kier Starmer become McGregor's specific target during this political performance? The Labour leader represents exactly what McGregor positions himself against, the epitome of establishment politics that McGregor claims has failed ordinary people across Ireland and the UK. By challenging Starmer publicly, McGregor strengthens his anti-elite credentials while suggesting a transatlantic solidarity among those frustrated with conventional political leadership. The traditional exchange of shamrocks between world leaders suddenly became the backdrop for an unexpected political showdown. What started as a 70-year-old diplomatic ceremony celebrating Irish-American unity transformed into something entirely different when McGregor stepped into the White House. In a stunning break from protocol, this ceremonial exchange of goodwill became a platform for controversial immigration rhetoric that left Irish government officials scrambling to distance themselves from their unexpected representative. St. Patrick's Day celebrations at the White House have deep historical significance, traditionally centered around community, humanity, and fellowship. For decades, these celebrations have symbolized the special relationship between Ireland and America, a chance to honor shared heritage and strengthen diplomatic ties. But McGregor's appearance alongside Trump represented a calculated disruption of this tradition, replacing unity with division at a moment usually reserved for cultural celebration. The contrast couldn't have been more striking. While shamrocks were being exchanged in the customary White House ceremony, McGregor was busy painting a dire picture of Ireland being ravaged by what he termed an illegal immigration racket. His inflammatory language about rural Irish towns being overrun in one swoop and locals becoming a minority in one swoop wasn't just provocative, it was designed to create emotional response among those with ties to Ireland, but perhaps limited current knowledge of the situation on the ground. What made this intervention particularly unusual was McGregor's deliberate strategy to bypass traditional diplomatic channels entirely. Rather than working through elected officials or established political structures, he spoke directly to what he called the 40 million Irish Americans, warning them that if certain issues weren't addressed, there might soon be no place to come home and visit. This appeal to diaspora emotions represented a new form of political communication, celebrity-to-public messaging that skips institutional gatekeepers entirely. McGregor's framing of the Ireland-America relationship revealed much about his political worldview. By characterizing America as the big sibling that should look after its little bro, he positioned Ireland not as an independent nation with its own democratic processes, but as a junior partner in need of protection. This paternalistic view of international relations reinforced his narrative that Ireland's elected leadership had failed its citizens and needed outside intervention, specifically from Trump's America. The timing wasn't accidental. McGregor's rhetoric about immigration mirrors similar debates currently unfolding in both America and Britain. His claims about local communities feeling overshadowed by immigrants and long-standing citizens feeling neglected by their governments created an unexpected alliance with Trump, whose own immigration positions have defined much of his political identity. By addressing these issues during a high-profile cultural event, McGregor guaranteed maximum exposure for views that might otherwise struggle to find such a prominent platform. The White House's enthusiastic embrace of McGregor spoke volumes. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt's statement that "we couldn't think of a better guest to have with us on St. Patrick's Day" indicated clear alignment with McGregor's message despite its controversial nature. This official endorsement gave McGregor's views an implied legitimacy that no social media post could achieve, regardless of how many followers he might have. What makes this political performance particularly significant is how it highlights deeper questions about representation in modern democracies. When Taoiseach Michael Martin was forced to respond that McGregor's remarks were wrong and didn't reflect Irish people's views, it revealed the tension between elected officials and celebrity influencers who claim to speak for the people. In an age where institutional trust is declining, figures like McGregor can position themselves as authentic voices against a supposedly corrupt establishment. McGregor's White House performance reveals something far more significant than just another celebrity political stunt. What we're witnessing is the continued erosion of traditional boundaries between entertainment and political authority. Celebrities across sports, film, and music are increasingly stepping into political roles without formal credentials, yet commanding audiences that elected officials can only dream of. This trend extends well beyond McGregor. Athletes worldwide have leveraged their platforms to address immigration and national identity issues, often positioning themselves against what they characterize as out-of-touch establishments. The real issue isn't whether these sports figures are qualified to speak on complex policy matters. It's how readily their messages resonate with citizens who feel ignored by conventional political channels. The uncomfortable truth is that in today's media landscape, a fighter's provocative soundbite travels further than a politician's carefully crafted statement. As entertainment and politics continue their uncomfortable merger, we're left questioning what this means for democratic representation when unelected celebrities can so effectively position themselves as voices of the people. McGregor's outburst wasn't just about immigration. It was a glimpse into how political influence operates in our celebrity-obsessed era.